Call me on my cell phone. Now they always say congratulations.
Suicide, if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah, I'm sad, I know.
J'ai l'air essoufflé, même si j'ai tout fait. J'ai tout, ferai jamais dans ma vie.
Ah, il aurait pu, je t'aime. À la folie.
Bitch, we in the city on that hot shit. Looking for a biddy on that hot shit. Hey! Raindrop. Drop, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
My lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly.
Je voulais rester à la cité, mon père m'a dit. All eyes on me. This is America. Don't catch you. Call me on my cell phone. Now they always say congratulations.
Suicide, if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah, I'm sad, I know.
J'ai l'air essoufflé, même si j'ai tout fait. J'ai tout, ferai jamais dans ma vie.
Ah, il aurait pu, je t'aime. À la folie.
Bitch, we in the city on that hot shit. Looking for a biddy on that hot shit. Hey! Raindrop. Drop, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
My lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly.
Je voulais rester à la cité, mon père m'a dit. All eyes on me. This is America. Don't catch you. Call me on my cell phone. Now they always say congratulations.
Suicide, if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah, I'm sad, I know.
J'ai l'air essoufflé, même si j'ai tout fait. J'ai tout, ferai jamais dans ma vie.
Ah, il aurait pu, je t'aime. À la folie.
Bitch, we in the city on that hot shit. Looking for a biddy on that hot shit. Hey! Raindrop. Drop, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
My lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly.
Je voulais rester à la cité, mon père m'a dit. All eyes on me. This is America. Don't catch you. Call me on my cell phone. Now they always say congratulations.
Suicide, if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah, I'm sad, I know.
J'ai l'air essoufflé, même si j'ai tout fait. J'ai tout, ferai jamais dans ma vie.
Ah, il aurait pu, je t'aime. À la folie.
Bitch, we in the city on that hot shit. Looking for a biddy on that hot shit. Hey! Raindrop. Drop, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
My lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly.
Je voulais rester à la cité, mon père m'a dit. All eyes on me. This is America. Don't catch you. Call me on my cell phone. Now they always say congratulations.
Suicide, if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah, I'm sad, I know.
J'ai l'air essoufflé, même si j'ai tout fait. J'ai tout, ferai jamais dans ma vie.
Ah, il aurait pu, je t'aime. À la folie.
Bitch, we in the city on that hot shit. Looking for a biddy on that hot shit. Hey! Raindrop. Drop, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
My lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly.
Je voulais rester à la cité, mon père m'a dit. All eyes on me. This is America. cooking, no cooking the hot box. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. I got
Come, my lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly. Sugar.
Je voulais rester à la cité, mon père m'a dit.
What is up, guys? Dashing here, and we are live, my friends, for Octane number 164. And like I always say, there is no better way possible to kick off an episode of Octane than with the queen of our hearts, the women's world champion, Isabella Almas, set for some action to get us started this fine evening. Well, not so fine. The weather outside hopefully holds up and the broadcast remains on air. We're supposed to get quite a storm, but man, it's storming in here right now because Isabella Almas is, of course, just a little over a week, my friends, from putting that Women's World Championship of hers on the line in Petty, France, against Thea, who also is going to be in action here tonight. A little bit later on, going to be Piper Goodish and Thea one-on-one. Actually be a great matchup, but this should be a great matchup. Isabella Almas set to meet Sophia E. Faith in a non-title matchup. And we're talking about the Women's World Championship. Sophia E. Faith got to be looking at this like a bona fide golden opportunity for herself. Never mind her good friend Thea. A win for Faith here maybe sets her up as a future contender for that Women's World Championship. Well, I'm sure Thea watching closely, just as Almas, vice versa. I'm sure we'll watch her matchup a little bit later on. At least if they're smart, they will. And I know Almas has one of the highest IQs in all of CMV. Thea might be on the other end of that. Well, there's no denying Thea's going to have a considerable home field advantage in Paris, France, when she challenges Isabella Almas for the Women's World Championship. We'll see if that's enough. Of course, been very back and forth the last couple of months between Almas and Thea, whether it was one-on-one or tag team matchups inside the Elimination Chamber and so on. But again, for Faith, not a matchup that she wants to be looking past. Because although a win will surely give Thea a smile, seeing Alma suffer a loss this close to climb to fame, I just hope that Faith's not out here for Thea. Be out here for yourself, Sophia. Isabella Almas, Sophia E. Faith. And guys, we're talking about momentum. Isabella Almas is undeniably in desperate need of momentum. She has, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think she has won a match here in the new season yet. In fact, a slew of losses, one of which was to Thea. That was the Octane season premiere. So suffice to say, Almas could use a win about as badly as possible here against Sophia E. Faith Easier said than done, though, especially looking at Faith these last few weeks. She's really been on fire. Growing war between Resurgence and the Regulators here on Octane. And week after week, they've been going back and forth. But, of course, it could be a very big night for Resurgence. Later on, they will challenge the Media Outcasts for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Say congratulations again to Ileana Summers and Cassidy Vice, the winners of the second annual Women's Tag Team Cup. But we all saw how that championship match went in Tokyo, Japan. So we're getting hopefully a better rematch here tonight. We got a great show through and through, though, my friends. More Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifiers as well. Big stomp by Faith there, who chucks Almas out of the corner. Almost winning that Women's World Championship at the end of last season, defeating Ruby Rattel in Las Vegas at Final Stand. It'll be her first defense. You'll recall, at least I'm trying to think, Vintage Dashing Memory is coming into play a bit here, but I do believe that she lost the Women's World Championship, her first defense for her first reign, which obviously, look, no, not to discredit Thea, but I think if you're looking at a one-on-one match and a Royal Rumble match, I think I know which would be the harder defense there. If you're looking at one woman compared to 29 women, and Almost obviously a couple years back could not, unfortunately for us all, get the job done. So, oh my God! I'm not entirely sure what the hell Almost was going for there, but man, talk about hitting the floor hard. What's the ref going to count at? Oh, you're already at 9. You got 6, though. We are not doing any countouts, by the way. Not here tonight. So hopefully these two can get the fight back into the ring. I'm kind of instituting a new rule, at least here on Octane. We'll see if Adam Valentine follows suit. He typically does. You know, he's a big copycat. He knows Octane is CMV's flagship show, so anything I do, he tries to kind of leech off of. Who can blame him? But luckily, we do get back into the ring, and I don't know what Faith was thinking there. Too much thinking, and it's going to cost her now. Almost takes control, and some big punches to the top of Faith's head, followed up by an European uppercut. The guys, Climb to Fame is next weekend. We are back in Paris, France, for the first time since Ascendance 10. And what a show we have in store. Of course, the Divine Championship is going to be on the line in the main event when Brina Story gets one last chance against Danielle Davis in a 3 Stages of Hell match. Of course, Thea in her home country challenging Isabella Almas for the Women's World Championship. And of course, the Climb to Fame contract ladder match itself, 8 men, one opportunity to earn that contract and cash in for a World Championship match anytime, anywhere. Speaking of, Dallas Colvin stalking Isabella Almas as of late. We saw her, remember a few weeks ago, attempt to cash in, or at least playing mind games with Isabella Almas, feigning a cash-in attempt during that match with Thea. Trying to keep the Women's World Champion on her toes, but it's Sophia who might need to be on her toes. Quick roll up there by the champion, but not even a 1 count, I don't believe. Up onto the shoulders. Oh, man, Sophia E. Faith getting a little bit of shock treatment there, which is typically a maneuver we see Aaron Stone utilize, so almost with some salt in the wound, if you will. Not too sure what that was all about, but now going to very gingerly make her way up to the top rope, almost with a moonsault, and that's a better moonsault than Aaron Stone could ever dream of hitting. Gonna go back to the top. No, almost out of the corner with that super kick. Just about as vintage gets, but why stop there? Standing 450 splash from the Women's World Champion. Count to 1,000, I think this one's over. 1, 2. But the former television champion of the Regulators, guys, truly wearing her heart on her sleeve here. Well, she's not wearing sleeves, but I digress. And Sophia now desperately trying to fight out of this corner. She may have kicked out there, but she is hurt, and that is for certain. Comes up behind, simple back suplex. But it gives her the chance to get to the top rope. Faith's gonna fly with a swanton bomb for the Women's World Champion into the pin. Well, this was the biggest win of Sophia's career. 2.5. But the Women's World Champion gets her shoulder up now. She's the one in the corner. As Faith tries to get herself geeked up here, full steam ahead. Big backsplash, rolls forward. The champ's in trouble. And with Thea surely watching on, the last thing Almas needs is yet another loss. I mean, Thea's pretty much got all of the momentum. She's hoarding it. Drags her into another corner, does Faith. Maybe trying to set up for sliced oranges. Pay homage to Ashley Raymond instead of sleeper suplex from Almas. That was devastating looking. Follows that up with a standing corkscrew senton. All the pressure to the midsection of Faith, guys. The ribs have got to be feeling some type of way. Here's some elbows to the midsection of Almas. As we see again, Faith sends Isabella into that corner, tries for a high kick. Almas says, get that shit out of here. Not interested. Goes behind, but an elbow to the side of the head by Faith. What a matchup here to kick off the show. But Almas just too masterful to send Faith into that corner. Monkey flip. Down is Faith, center of the ring. Double bounce, cross body into the pin. Is Faith going to take it? 1, 2. Faith is able to kick out. Does not take the L. But now Almas putting a little bit of stank on it, mocking Sophia E. Faith, saying this is light work, but maybe should have saved that for after the match. Almas goes tumbling to the outside after missing that big boot. Faith with a springboard. No, Sophia. She now hits the floor hard as the Women's World Champion throws her into the ring. Guys, that may have been Faith's final mistake in this match. Targets the knees, does the champ. And you are going nowhere. The queen of our hearts. Another sleeper suplex just right on top of her head. Sophia is dropped. And there's the power. The truly underestimated power of Isabella Almas. Most would probably look at Thea as one of the more powerful women we've got here in CMV, and for good reason. But Almas might rival her into the pin. Is that going to do it? Looks like Faith was thinking about going for something else, but then decided to go for the pin. That slight hesitation might be what cost her. And now, out onto the apron. Guys, Faith looks like she is anywhere but on earth right now. And the champion is just toying with her. That's what we're seeing here. Isabella Almas is having a bit of fun with Sophia E. Faith. But the fun is over. Sophia gonna rain on Almas's parade. Spikes her with a poison rana into the pin. Is Faith gonna take it? It's a kick out at 2. And Sophia racking her brain right now. Oh, maybe to the top. Another swanton bomb potentially, or a leg drop. A very impressive leg drop, which Almas tries to recover from here in the corner, but Sophia is all over her right now, like peanut butter on jelly, brother. Misses that double boot stomp in the corner, able to tie her up though. Sliced oranges! Grabs the legs into the bin. Ref, where are you? Oh, where was the ref? Isabella almost kicks out, but it might not matter. Swanton bomb, no, almost gets up the knees. Faith tried for the swanton bomb again. Oh, it gets her back broken. Almost has her right where she wants her. The F5. Say good night, Sophia E. Faith. 1, 2, 3. Isabella Almas at last picks up the win when she needs it most. Our Women's World Champion appears to be about as ready as can be for a climb to fame next week. Wait a minute! Dallas Cole! Dallas Cole! Is she actually doing it? Is she actually going to pull the trigger? Dallas is cashing in! Dallas Cole is cashing in! The Magnificent 8 contract! She's got the title, but almost sends her packing. And wait a minute! I don't think she's technically cashed in. No, the bell did not ring. And Dallas has taken her briefcase and hitting the road, almost foiling Cole's attempt to cash in here tonight.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah, boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the mood. He say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. At the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor.
Man, oh man, what a way to kick off this episode of Octane. A great match, and then a cash-in attempt. But again, guys, the bell did not ring. So Dallas Cole did not technically cash in. The Magnificent 8 contract almost really having her wits about her. Otherwise, man, those climb to fame plans would have been up in smoke. But the Women's World Champion has got to especially be on high alert now. The show continues though, guys, and coming up next, we've got a matchup that has a whole lot of international flair, and it's the Octane debut of one of the greatest luchadors in the history of Lucha Libre Magica. Talon Sucio arrives here on Octane, and he'll be taking on, well, a Japanese legend in Haruki Hattori. In a confrontation between these two earlier tonight, Talon Sucio claimed that Lucha Libre is the truest form of professional wrestling, but Hattori begged to differ, said that Japanese wrestling and its history is far superior. So we're going to find out potentially which is the better art form in pro wrestling. Is it indeed Lucha Libre? Or is it that hard-hitting style that someone like Haruki Hattori is known for? In his incredible career in Japan, lately he's been kind of taking a step back as Lorenzo Alexander has been having a great new season so far, capturing the Pro Wrestling Japan International Championship. I'm sure that had to make Haruki Hattori very proud. And qualified for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match, not to mention. But, well, Talon Sucio actually mocked Haruki Hattori, saying, "Some teacher you are, because my pal, El Duende de Fuego, just beat Lorenzo Alexander in a non-title matchup." So, yet again, we see that Lucha Libre superior to Japanese wrestling. But Talon Sucio might be changing his tune by the end of this match. So here we go, the luchador, Talon Sucio, taking on the Japanese living legend, Haruki Hattori, who looks to hype up the fans here in attendance for this match. Gets underway, doesn't do much for him, as Sucio tries to instantly take his head off with that short arm clothesline. Tries to follow it up with a little springboard leg drop action, but not having any of that. Well, guys, you got to wonder what Thea made of what we just saw. Dallas Cole trying to cash in. The Magnificent 8 contract potentially ruined Thea's climb to fame plans, but again, later on tonight, we're going to see Piper Goodish and Thea one-on-one, so she's got a whole lot else to worry about right now. Haruki Tori does not really seem immediately impressed with Talon Susio. Hit him with a powerbomb backbreaker into the pin. Is that going to be enough? And this one nice and early. What embarrassing that would be for Lucha Libre, but luckily Susio is able to kick out. Again, guys, still to come. We've got Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifiers all night long. The Women's Tag Team Championship up for grabs later on as Resurgence will challenge the Media Outcasts. And what a main event we've got, guys. Champ versus champ, as the Pro Wrestling Japan International Champion, Lorenzo Alexander, goes one-on-one with the CMV Champion, Fidel De La Rosa. Ringside big elbow to the side of the head by Susio there. Responds to the kick to the gut. Does Hattori, who gets thrown back into the ring. And Susio, coming from Lucha Libre Magica, in a relatively short amount of time from what I know about him, from a big name in Mexico, really taking that company by storm. And when Leitra tries for it again, this time I don't even think Hattori knowingly countered it. We're here to the collar double tie-up, and Susio towering over Hattori, going to push him into the corner. Will we get a clean break? No, cheap shot there by Susio. The ref's going to admonish him. Big chop to the chest. And now we see Talon holding his knee to Hattori's throat. Got to be careful of the 5 count, however. Hattori bleeding, it looks like from a cut above his right eyebrow from what I can see. Susio to the top. Going to be fly with a Budokan Rana. That's impressive for a man the size of Talon Susio. Got to be at least 6'4". I would guess probably 260. Boot to the side of Hattori's head. We see the blood beginning to pour out now. Hattori, that won't stop him. He's faced much worse than that in his career in Japan. On the rebound. Beautiful swinging side slam that was. Perhaps a shout out to the recently returned Pierre Thompson. The play of the day. Or is he trying to take Hattori here? Talon Susio with a perhaps power slam attempt, but Hattori able to drop down behind him, take out the back of his knee. Shove back. Nicely done. Susio to his feet. And maybe thinking about going back to the top rope. Yes, he is. Talon Susio with a very Macho Man-esque elbow straight to the heart of the legend. But still not done is the luchador as he finishes him off with a clean slate. This must be the biggest Xander Slate fan. Talon Susio with a clean slate, but man, a kick out by Haruki Hattori. Very frustrated is Susio, but he tries to keep the attack going for a penalty kick. Nice counter by Hattori, though. I mean, who isn't a Xander Slate fan? May he eternally rest in peace. Xander Slate with a power slam. He is just having his way with Hattori here, guys. I think we're finding out which wrestling form is superior here in this match. But respect to Hattori, he's still not backing down, standing his ground. Knife edge chop, a slap right across the face. Responds in kind of this Hattori, and they are just digging into each other here. Chop to the chest, no blocked. Right hook and a knife edge chop from Hattori. Comes right back at him to Susio. And now Susio mocking the old man. Gets a stiff slap across the face for it. And they're just digging into each other. Hell yeah, what a fight this is. But who's gonna get the upper hand? Gonna knock each other out, maybe. Look at Hattori is just starting to run red. Blood all over his chest. But a snake eyes for Susio. Gets a boot up still. Closes the distance very hastily. Walks him over to the ropes to Give him that rope burn across the chest. Susio will follow him into the corner. Nowhere to go, old-timer. But gets that boot up now. Sneaky Haruki Hattori. And a knee to the chest. A desperate pin by the veteran. Will it be enough? This has been a banger here. Hattori in danger of collapsing at any moment, it looks like. The amount of blood that he is losing here, guys. A snap elbow drop across the chest. Blood staining the canvas. He's very quickly gotten very personal between these two. I mean, they're fighting for their respective art forms, for Lucha Libre and for Japanese wrestling. With the blood all over the floor. God, Hattori's going to need some stitches, I think. That goes without saying, probably. As he throws Susio now right into the side of the steel steps. Come on. I don't want this match ending in my count out. This has been such a great match. Looks like Hattori will luckily not let that happen. But does he have enough left to finish Susio off? Misses that elbow a little too slow. And now Susio walks right into the Haruki driver! Perfect bridge! What a kick out at 2.5. But goes right for another Haruki driver! If one don't get the job done, Haruki Hattori picks up the win. What a match! Uh-oh, guys, but it looks like Talon Susio may have been injured, and Haruki Hattori, being the fighter that he is, he's going to check on his opponent. Great sportsmanship shown by the Japanese veteran here. Hey, maybe no style is better than the other. Oh, but Talon with a sneaky cheap shot to Hattori, the ankle spine. There's no injury, and Susio gets the last laugh here tonight.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah, boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the moody. Say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. At the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah.
And as our ring crew gets done mopping up the buckets of blood from that last match, we move on, my friends, to what could be another humdinger lying in wait here tonight. Piper Goodish back in action for the first time since her debut a couple weeks ago, guys, where she defeated the women's world champion, Isabella Almas. And as Goodish said herself after the fact, I mean, is there really any bigger way to debut, perhaps, other than winning the championship? And now Goodish looks to follow up by defeating the #1 contender. I mean, Goodish, in an insanely short amount of time, guys, could establish herself as a top contender here on Octane. I don't think it can be argued if she beats the champion and then the #1 contender within the span of a couple of weeks. That's her opportunity here tonight as she takes on the fiery French woman, Thea. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because Thea has obviously been burning up these last few weeks. What a run the #1 contender has been on, heading toward climb to fame in Paris, France next weekend, where she will challenge Isabella Almas for the Women's World Championship. And again, wonder what she made of what happened at the top of the show. Isabella Almas defeating Sophia E. Faith and then nearly getting cashed in on by Dallas Cole. Isabella Almas did not have eyes in the back of her head. we may have a new Women's World Champion right now. What would that mean for Climb to Fame next weekend? Well, Thea's probably saying, thank God, we don't have to find out. The match with Isabella Almas is still on. But hopefully that doesn't mean that she's overlooking Piper Goodish here in this matchup, because that could be a fatal mistake for Thea. If you want to talk about pressure, though, Thea must be under an extraordinary amount. The biggest match of her CMV career, and it's going to be in front of her fellow countrymen, her friends, her family in Paris, France. I mean, it's really not losing as an option. It's do or die for Thea at Climb to Fame next weekend. But even I will admit that she has worked harder than any others to earn this opportunity. Oh, we get a little bit of an intense stare down here between these two, and well, Thea's going to offer some respect before this matchup begins, and Piper Goodish will reciprocate. That's a very rare actual handshake here in CMV. Some great respect between these two, it looks like, but that doesn't last long as soon as the bell actually rings. Thea with a headbutt directly to the chest of Goodish. Thea saying, look, happy to have you here in Octane, excited for this matchup, but I'm not letting anything stand between me and Climb to Fame next weekend. Not wanting to let anything tamper with her momentum that she has worked so hard to put together over these last few weeks. Here from the corner. Already looking for a spear, but lucky for Piper Goodish. She prefers to be in one hole rather than a half. Dragged into the corner though. Big stomp to the midsection. Yeeted up out of the corner. Into an alley-oop. Let's just hope that Goodish has not allowed her debut win a couple weeks ago against the Women's World Champion Isabella Almas to go to her head in any sort of way. We're going to follow up on that, man. The way to do it is by being the #1 contender. I mean, look, as the Octane general manager, I would have to seriously consider Piper Goodish as next in line. You know, post-Climb to Fame, whether it be Thea or whether it be Isabella Almas still as the Women's World Champion, I think I would have to seriously consider Goodish as a potential candidate be next in line for a shot at the Women's World Championship. But Thea's going to make sure that does not happen. Little woo sent out there as she tries for the pin now. 1, 2, but it's a kick out by Goodish. As Thea saying, you're not baddish, you ain't goodish, more middish. Here tonight, seatbelt suplex, look at Goodish. Explodes to her feet, shocking Thea. Takes that kick to the gut, but still standing. Slap across the face. Throwing down, now Thea being a little bit cheeky with that handshake before the match started. Showed us some rare sportsmanship, but the longer this match goes on, the less sportsmanlike conduct I'm seeing between these two. Top to the chest. Slap straight across the face, and now Piper Goodish and Thea gonna stand and bang here on Octane number 164. Thea gets the better of Goodish. And there's that power, that strength of the fiery Frenchwoman, dropping Goodish onto the military press. And now middle of the ring, hooks the leg for Thea to maintain her momentum, heading into Climb to Fame, but it's a kick out at 2. Quick trousers check before pulling Goodish to her feet. Maybe going to try to get her into the corner. Up on top, tries for that super, what's this? Match book! The match book from Thea, and she does not beat around the bush. Directly followed up with the extinguisher. No playing about by Thea tonight. 1, 2, but it's a kick out. A lot closer that time, 2.999, but Goodish is still in this one, and Thea's getting frustrated As she tries to get right back in the attack, but Goodish has an opening. Ties her up. Surasi driver! Goodish, however, when she's done her homework and knows that it'll take a whole hell of a lot more than that to put down the fiery Frenchwoman. Tying her all up for that upside down, very Amelia Jones coded kick out at 2 by Thea. Goodish is potentially best chance there to keep Thea down. She's going to the top though. Might be time to risk it all here. As the fiery Frenchwoman just hurls herself at Thea. Pays off, unlike that seated senton attempt. Thea gets out of the way slowly, but surely. As now she gets grabbed on the back of the head. Well, it looks like Thea's bleeding, guys. Not too sure what did that. Piper Goodish is a hard hitter. Could have been anything. And never a good thing so close to climb to fame next weekend for Thea to suffer a potential injury of any kind. Back suplex on the apron. I mean, almost probably in her locker room at this point. Watching, taking mental notes if there's any weakness to be found. Any injury Thea might incur in this match. You know that Almas will be all over it. Quick kick to the side of the head, Thea. Gonna grab Goodish, pulls her up. High in the air, another military press by potentially the next Women's World Champion. Count of 5, Goodish gets to her feet. Looks like she's gonna get back into the ring. Force Thea to chase after her. No countouts happening here. And a clothesline from Goodish. Thea will not stay down though. Runs right into a back body drop and still Thea gets back up. Let's see if this takes her down. Spine buster from Goodish. Into the pin is Goodish. Gonna pin the number 1 contender. Kick out at 2. What a match. Goodish is on the precipice here, guys, of following up her huge debut win against Isabella Almas with an equally as big win here against Thea. She does it again. A second rendition of the upside down, but another kick out by Thea. But guys, the number 1 contender, not sure how she kicked out of that, but it may have taken everything she's got left. Oh, and another back suplex on the apron. Piper Goodish, you menace. He is hurt, guys. And the damage being done to the back. It's like I said, Isabella Almas is watching. Thea has to better protect herself, putting that climb to fame match next week at risk. The longer this match goes on, the more Piper Goodish is allowed to execute maneuvers like that. Thea's going to throw her back into the ring. Of course, we know Thea, she would rather lose than win by countout. That sportsmanship we saw at the start of the matchup. Great counter by Goodish there into an arm drag. And Thea's down going to try to follow. Oh, no, Thea gets up the knees. Wow. Quick thinking there by Thea. Look how fast Goodish is. And Goodish with a shining wizard! Goodish! Go for the pin. What are you doing? Go for the pin, Goodish! What is she doing? Oh my God. Oh my God! Good night! Into the pin! Don't tell me! 1, 2, 3! Piper Goodish has just pinned the number 1 contender for the Women's World Championship. It must be topsy-turvy night or something. Isabella Almas wins the match and Thea loses? We're in what do they call it? Alternate dimension here. Earth 2. Guys, Piper Goodish pinned Isabella Almas a couple weeks ago in her debut, and now tonight pins the number 1 contender for the Women's World Championship after a phenomenal match. I mean, what else needs to be said? Look at this kick. Well, I wonder if Thea would still shake Piper Goodish's hand. Not that she could even if she wanted to right now. Knocked out cold. Piper Goodish arriving here on Octane, and in a few short weeks has just turned our women's division upside down. And the pressure might just be getting to Thea.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a...
Hey, Anna. There you are. We've been worried about you since the women's tag tournament. Are you okay?
We had it. We had it! Our one chance to be back at the tag title scenes. Stolen right under our noses by those damn... Resurgence had to cheat keeping you in the ring, and that dumbass ref counted you out.
Look, I'm just as angry about this as you, but Anna, this isn't you. Snap out of it.
I know. This was supposed to be our year.
And it still is. We beat Pat LaFaves in the first round. Remember? Those two needed to be humbled, and we did just that. Humble them. Remember what you always tell me, Anna. Losses don't define us. It's what we do after that's more important. We'll get back in the tag title scene soon enough.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Dallas. I needed to hear that. We'll be champions one day. It will happen. We should probably blow this joint and go get some training done. You know, this reminds me of a story not too long ago. I was jogging, passed by this really cute puppy. See, at first I thought it was a normal puppy.
Wow,
maybe
man.
A German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So I took it home.
What's their names? The Twisted Sisters.
Turns out I was
What's their names?
Wolf Cub.
What? Oh. That one's Dallas. That one is Anna. Man, they're twisting my eyes in hopes and dreams. Oh yeah? Well, what's up, man? Hear me out, dude. We need to introduce ourselves to them bombshells, right? We have to show them that we're on the same wavelength, Rockstar. Yeah, and you know what? I think I have an idea that's gonna do it just right. Well, don't leave me in suspense here, man. Tell me! Ooh, yeah, man, that sounds awesome! Come on, let's go get the stuff, man. Rock on, man.
What the fuck?
Oh, the Rock City Stars doing a little bit of creeping and peeping there. Can't say that I necessarily blame them, but guys, Dallas Cole is right. Anna Simmons shouldn't be harping on the past, although they were unable to win the second annual Women's Tag Team Cup. And by virtue, unable to earn a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship, they do have a championship opportunity coming their way. Next Octane, Twisted Sisters will challenge Pat LaFaves for the Trios Championship. Now, this presents a little bit of a dilemma for the champions because, well, Sarah Miller and Alice Blake are still on vacation, which means Delilah Sin and Vanessa Morgan are either going to have to track one of them down, or it's going to be a handicap match, which I'm sure Twisted Sisters wouldn't mind too much. Well, that's next Octane Trios Championship match tonight. We've got our first Climb to Fame contract qualifier of the evening. Peligro set to go one-on-one with Aaron Stone. It's been an abysmal night for the Regulators so far. Sophia E. Fate losing her match. We just saw Thea lose her match. Is it going to be a complete and total loss across the board for the Regulators here tonight? It's up to Aaron Stone to stop that from happening. Bias Jones coming out alongside Aaron Stone. Of course, we did not see him until Coach Japan. He was sidelined with that concussion at the hands of Remy Martin last Octane. And well, from what I know, Tobias Jones is still not cleared for in-ring action, but he will be in Aaron Stone's corner for this Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifier tonight. Gonna make sure to keep an eye, 2 eyes even, I would say, on Ben Stacy, who's in the corner of Peligro. Well, we saw that it was the returning Blake Virtue filling in for Tobias Jones in the 9th annual Men's Tag Team Cup. Aaron Stone's surprise tag team partner, but despite a fantastic match, Resurgence were still able to advance. Ultimately, though, it was the team of Carlos Corvo and Joey Bacon winning the whole dang thing, the new World Tag Team Champions. Congratulations again to them. Very tense stare down between these two. Just as the bell rings now, and they'll call another time. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time ever that we are seeing these two go one-on-one. Obviously, Peligro's been out of action for over a year, only returning a few weeks ago. These are two former global champions. One of them will qualify for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match, which is already looking to be quite the matchup. We've got so far Brian Dynamic, Ron Cook, Diamanta, Alan Montoya, and Lorenzo Alexander qualified. 3 more spots to be filled. 2 will be filled right here tonight. This matchup, and a little bit later on, it's going to be Gus DeVell and the Anarchy champion Tommy DeMine vying for the spot. And the final spot will be filled on the next episode of Octane. Big punch there by Aaron Stone. I mean, this is going to be an age-old David versus Goliath type situation where you got the speed, the agility of Peligro going up against the obviously much stronger Aaron Stone. Super kick from that crafty cat. Stone going out the kitty claws, gouging the eye of the protein-packed powerhouse. We now see Peligro go up to the top rope. Turns himself around. Damn! Corkscrew senton and landed across Stone's back as he was trying to get back to his feet. Now, since this new season began, it's been back and forth week after week. Resurgence getting the win, Regulators getting the win. Neither side has really been able to make much progress in terms of overcoming the other. But now with Blake Virtue being back, that could potentially bolster the side of the Regulators significantly. He said that he wasn't a part of the Regulators technically, but more than willing to help them out in this fight against Resurgence as they attempt to completely take over Octane. Referee is resetting his count. Peligro digging his knees into the midsection of Aaron Stone. And again, guys, later on, we could see Resurgence maybe finally take that big first step toward their ultimate goal when Ileana Summers and Cassidy Vice challenge the Media Outcasts for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Aaron Stone with a kick to the midsection. And a powerbomb onto the apron before whipping Peligro's shoulder first into the side of the ring. And now, head first into the steel ring post, because every single part of the ring being utilized by Stone here. Damn, up to a count of 16 already. Hello. What is going on here, guys? 18. We got to get back into the ring. It's going to be a double count out. Wow, talk about by the skin of their teeth. 19. Almost a double count out. Nobody would have qualified for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match. Luckily, though, back in the ring now, Peligro's coming out of the corner with a kick directly to Stone's face. As Ben Stacy and Tobias Jones continue to watch from ringside. Looks like Ben Stacy was busy playing with that top turnbuckle pad, trying to take it off. Irish whip reversed. Peligro putting Stone up on top. I hope this ring's been reinforced here. Stone goes behind. Tries to take Peligro's head off with that waistlock lariat. Now Stone, last year's Climb to Fame event. Aaron Stone was a part of a triple threat ladder match for the Global Championship. Now in Patty France, he hopes to be one of 8 men looking to leave with that contract and a guaranteed World Championship opportunity. A double tap from Peligro with a kick out at 2 by the thick-headed Aaron Stone. Peligro, oh my God. Going for another kick. Clip in the jaw on CMV's most handsome man. Those good looks not going to help him here, but he is able to again kick out. How many times is Peligro going to kick him in the face? Walk across the middle rope. Getting very flashy with that elbow drop. Another pin attempt. And still Aaron Stone will not stay down. Peligro getting angrier and angrier every time Stone kicks out. Now off the ropes, tries for a senton. Stone gets out of the way though. Attempts to evade him, doesn't really do him any good. And Stone gonna drop down. Tilt the world single knee backbreaker, even made Ben Stacy cringe. Stomps to the chest. Stone starting to make a comeback with that. Picks him up into a spine buster, beautifully done. Hooks the leg as Aaron Stone going to Climb to Fame with a kick out. Horrible night for the regulators so far. Can Aaron Stone salvage it? He's got Peligro's arm. He's got Peligro's arm. But Peligro is able to expertly escape. That submission mover, I still don't know the technical name of that submission hold. Aaron Stone's been doing it for like 2 years. Holy shit! Peligro with a clash to Aaron Stone. And so fast out onto the apron. Peligro with a springboard. Savant kick attempted. Stone steps out of the way though. Irish whip gets reversed. Super kick! Aaron Stone is reeling. Peligro spreading the legs for a shot through the sun don't shine. Spear! Aaron Stone, whatever he's got left, put behind that spear, but oh baby. Peligro still purring. Stone with a kick to the midsection sets him up for what could be a devastating powerbomb. Or maybe instead of snake eyes, trying to blind this kitty. Washing his face. Aaron Stone off the rope saying what's up to Ben Stacy before trying to cave Peligro's skull in. Still gets back up there, what a clothesline, squashing Stone in the corner. Hell of a matchup here. Who's going to Patty France though? What a date that would be for Aaron Stone and Alice Blake. But Aaron Stone's got to win this match first. Peligro fights his way out of the corner. Peligro, powerbomb, damn! Able to get up the massive Stone like that, and especially so late in the match. Springboard coffin drop. Tobias Jones trying to rally. These CMV fans here in attendance give their support to Aaron Stone. I don't think it'll be enough though. Double tap again as if that wasn't bad enough. The triple tap. My God. Uno, dos, tres, Peligro qualifies for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match. And the night only gets worse for the regulators. It could only get better for Resurgence though, because guys still to come. Ileana Summers and Cassidy Vice challenge the Media Outcasts for the Women's Tag Team Championship, but Peligro, the 6th man, in the Climb to Fame contract ladder match next weekend in Paris, France. What a match this was, though. I can't believe he did Bro so dirty. The triple tap. Probably could have pinned him after that. But Peligro was making sure this damn oak tree wasn't getting back up. Another win for Resurgence. Another step toward taking over Octane.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah, boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the moody. Say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. At the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spin his whole.
We're going to find out, my friends, a bit later on who will join Peligro and the 5 other men in that Climb to Fame contract ladder match next weekend in Paris, France. Coming up next, though, Mitzi finds herself in the deep end here on Octane, guys, because she's set to the one-on-one with the Hall of Famer, Ashley Rain, but already in a fair amount of hot water is our resident prankster, Mitzi, after, Sosafina Leota found herself on the receiving end of one of Mitzi's goofs, gaffs, gags earlier tonight. A little bit of, I believe it was a water sprayed in her face, or maybe one of those pies. Pie looked pretty damn good. Let's just hope that Mitzi doesn't have any of those pranks in store for Ashley Rain here in this matchup, because I don't think the Hall of Famer is going to have any time for Mitzi's fun and games either. But when is mommy makeout day? That's what everybody really wants to know. Gotta check out Mitzi's YouTube channel for that. Her social experiments. I don't think anybody would say that Mitzi's in her right mind, but I certainly hope that she's prepared for a match of this caliber. This could be a great opportunity for her to showcase herself in the ring. I mean, by defeating somebody the caliber of Ashley Rain, the 3-time Women's World Champion, the Hall of Famer, setting out this season to prove she's still got it. Still has what it takes to be on top of this women's division here in CMV. That seems to be the story going on with a lot of the veterans here in CMV, even over on Shockwave, the Unks, like Reese Matthews and Quantum, trying to do the same thing. These old timers, these old heads, can keep up with the newer generation here in CMV. Well, I don't think Ashley Rain can just keep up. I think far superior in every respect. But of course, that's just one man's humble opinion. One man who just so happens to be the captain of the Ashley Rain fan club. So it's Mitzi one-on-one with Ashley Rain still to come, guys. Gus Novell and Anarchy champion Tommy Demise meet in a Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifier. Also, Women's Tag Team Championship on the line, as Resurgence will challenge the Media Outcast in our main event. Champ versus champ, Lorenzo Alexander and Fidel De La Rosa, mano a mano. Oh, SJ with the gifted subs, you little beauty you. Bless, appreciate you. Mitzi will be able to counter the go-behind attempt into a rear naked choke. Cream pie to the face for you. That doesn't sound, that's not what I meant. I mean, literally, Mitzi actually has cream pies. Maybe she gets it, bakes them herself. Seems like a waste of a good cream pie. There's some punches in the midsection though by Rain. And she goes behind once again and eats an elbow. Mitzi will hook those arms, go for a crucifix pin. Oh, of course, it can't just be simple. Everything's got to be over the top with Mitzi. Wasting that time, though, might be able to cost her. Not even a 1 count. Damn, the whoopsie doodle. It's more impressive when Joey Bacon does it, but even still. A lift and reverse DDT by Mitzi. In control right now of the Hall of Famer, but hang on a second. Look who it is. I told you Sosafina Leota was not a fan of being on the receiving end of one of Mitzi's pranks earlier tonight. And now Leota coming out here to try to distract Mitzi. Sunny side down to this clown. Thanks to Sosafina, Ashley Rain. 1, 2, nearly. Able to pop off that red nose and shove it straight down her throat, but props to Mitzi. I said props, not a prop. Now you take a look at that women's locker room and the amount of props that Mitzi brings along with her. The likes of which I have never seen before. And she's trying to wake herself back up after getting hit with that sunny side down. Mitzi had a whole leg of lamb in her. And one of her bags. I'm pretty sure it was a real leg of lamb too. It was starting to smell a little bit. Ashley Rain gonna take to the air. Baseball slide drop kick. Mitzi is in a world of trouble here. And after being on top. But thanks to Sosafina Leota, that changed fast. Mitzi still should not be counted out. You never know what trick she may have up her sleeve. Like a figure 4 at ringside. This won't win the match. Not falls count anywhere. Reigns able to reverse the pressure anyhow, forcing the break both women to their feet. Refs at a count of 5. As Rain hoists her up for a shoulder breaker. Back into the ring is the Hall of Famer, but will Mitzi be able to beat the count? Refs at a count of 7. Now 8. Mitzi is still down. And I don't know if she's getting back up. Ashley Rain is going to take the count-out win here tonight, becoming the new count-out queen. Is Ashley Rain this season? Well, guys, it looked like Mitzi might have Rain in a spot of trouble until, as you saw there, Sosafina Leota showed up at ringside, caused a little bit of a hoopla, allowed Rain to take advantage and put Mitzi to bed. Another win for the 3-time Women's World Champion as Mitzi learns there are consequences to her pranks. Sosafina Leota not finding it to be a laughing matter.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah, boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the moody. Say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. On the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. Yeah, used to wear the cheap stuff, now it's all designer. Bling. Got him wrapped around my little finger. He let the way I pop it like.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mitzi better be careful, because she tries to mess around with me. I've got a cream pie with her name on it. You know what I mean. The action continues here on Octane number 164, my fine feathered friends. And we've got ourselves yet another Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifier on our hands. Of course, a bit earlier, Peligro defeating Aaron Stone to become the latest man to qualify. We've got our 6. We still need 2 more. And the Anarchy champion, Tommy Demise, looking to be number 7. He's set to tango with Gus Novell here tonight. Guys, Tommy Demise has been embroiled in a very physical beef with Minohiro Takanashi over these last 2 weeks. And last Octane, we were meant to at last see them go one-on-one with each other, but the match never ended up happening as a brawl broke out before the bell could ring. The ref called it off. The two damn near ripped each other to shreds, but when the dust did at last settle, Tommy Demise stood tall, although barely. He could hardly stand at all. The Anarchy champion letting Takanashi know he might be bigger, he might be stronger, but the Anarchy champion isn't going to be so easily put down by the towering Titan. But that's not what Demise has to worry about here tonight. He's got to worry about Gus Novell and this Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifier. And guys, Gus Novell had himself a hell of a rookie season, capturing the Rite of Passage Championship and the Anarchy Championship. Ended the season defeating Madison Quinn inside of a steel cage at Final Stand. At the start of this new season, not a whole lot's been going his way. He looks to change that tonight, however. Will it be good fortune for the Hound of Judgment? Look past this as even a Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifier for Gus Novell, guys. If he can beat the Anarchy champion, he might be entered into contention when it comes to the championship. This could be a double whammy for Novell tonight, and I believe he knows that. So who is going to Patty France? Gus Novell, Tommy Demise, Climb to Fame contract ladder match qualifier. We'll see who's going to be joining Brian Dynamic, Quaran Cook, Diamanta, Alan Montoya, Lorenzo Alexander, and Peligro, who have thus far qualified. And well, Demise not wasting any time at all, getting nasty with just biting. That's when he actually drew blood. Gus Novell is bleeding. The sharp teeth of Tommy Demise sinking his fangs. I thought Gus Novell was supposed to be down. But it's our Anarchy champion who's chomping down at the start of this match, man. We're about a minute into this one, and Gus Novell is already in a desperate state. But Demise is pissed off, and well, more so than he usually is pissed off. I don't know if I've ever seen Tommy Demise smile since he arrived here in CMV. Of course, he debuted in the men's Royal Rumble match back at Mob Violence. What a come up he's had in a relatively short amount of time, capturing the Anarchy Championship from Mike Magnum Maxwell at Final Stand. Big punch there. He is just decimating Gus Novell. Oh no, I thought Demise had put him down last Octane. Minohoro Takanashi. I guess he's not someone you can keep down for long. Wait a minute. He's got a chair. Don't turn around, Tommy. But Tommy, keeping his wits about him. And again, Takanashi has to tuck tail and run. Our Anarchy champion trying to get right back to work on Gus Novell, but the distraction is enough to at last give the Hound of Judgment the opportunity to mount the comeback here against the Anarchy champion. But Demise said, ain't no thing but a chicken wing. His focus undoubtedly divided now, though. The attack may have failed by Minohoro Takanashi, but account for the mind games. Demise thought that he had swept Takanashi under the rug last Octane, but like Godzilla rising up out of the sea, once again Minohoro Takanashi comes for Tommy Demise. And our champion finds out it won't be so easy to slay that kaiju. He has to stay focused on this match here. He's able to slip down behind him. He's given this chance to make the most of it. Yeah, I think Tommy Demise may have genuinely ripped off a good chunk of flesh from Novell's left cheek there. I think I can see the flesh caught between his teeth. Oh, double knee to the back of Novell. As you see again, Demise attempt to pace himself. There's Tommy Demise. The Michinoku driver into the pin as Gus Novell is up for Newcomer of the Year. It's quite a stiff field, though, I will say. Up against the likes of Rennie Martin, Brina Story, and Thea. All had incredible years, but like I said, capturing the Rite of Passage Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. I think it's not even been a full year that Novell has been here since he only debuted right after Assemblance 13. I do think he still has plenty of championship gold in his future, but well, as I mentioned before this match began, things kind of stalling these last few weeks. Will his fortunes change? Men, he and Tommy Demise trying to put each other through the meat grinder here. Oh, but there's that snap reverse DDT. And in the blink of an eye, Gus Novell may have this one. It's a kick out though by Demise. He's trying for the pin again. Oh, but this time a dirty pin. Novell doesn't care what he has to do to get his career back on track here on Octane. To qualify for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match in Paris, France next weekend. Tommy Demise. Looks like somebody hit him as hard as they possibly could with a frying pan. Psycho Magnet. And Demise is going to Climb to Fame. Despite the attempted attack by Minohoro Takanashi, Tommy Demise is the 7th man to qualify for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match next weekend. Somebody get Demise a toothpick because he's got to get Gustamel's flesh out from between his teeth. And speaking of flesh, Minahoto Takanashi may have bitten off more than he can chew with this guy.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah, boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the moody. Say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. At the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. Yeah, used to wear the cheap stuff, now it's all designer. Blink. Got him wrapped around my little finger. He let the way I pop it like a can of fizz. Told him if he want this, better know the business. I'm not his wifey, I'm his fantasy. Living life in first class, can't you see? Look at me, said my attitude is kinda.
Well, hang on a minute, my friends. Up next here on Octane, number 164, we are supposed to be seeing the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Resurgence challenging Media Outcast for the Women's Tag Team Championship, but we've just been brought backstage where I'm being told the Regulators have just gotten the drop on Ileana Summers and Cassidy Vice. Sophia E. Faith and Amelia Jones ambushing Resurgence as they were making their way out toward the ring for that championship match in our tertiary main event. Ileana Summers and Cassidy Vice, the winners of the 2nd annual Women's Tag Team Cup, but well, obviously the championship match did not go the way they would have liked it to, ending in a matter of minutes, I think slightly over a minute. We were supposed to get a proper rematch here, but it seems like the Regulators keen on ensuring that does not happen. And it's been a terrible night so far for the Regulators. As we've talked about, I mean, Sophia E. Faith lost her match at the top of the show to Isabella Almas. Thea lost, Aaron Stone lost, and perhaps all those losses pushing the Regulators over the edge. They've had enough of Resurgence. Finally pushing back. I like to see this. I actually like this from the Regulators. A little bit of fire for once. Oh, but maybe this wasn't the way to go about it. Ileana Summers with a steel chair, thwacking Amelia Jones. Comes back at her, though, with a tilt-the-world DDT, while Faith takes Cassidy Vice by the hair and throws her down onto the concrete. Who knows where the hell the rest of the Resurgence is, or the Regulators for that matter. Well, the Media Outcasts, who are set to defend the Women's Tag Team Championship in just a couple of minutes. I think it's safe to say that match will not be happening. But we need to get security back here. I mean, the security office is right there. I don't know where they are. Perhaps they're dealing with Minahoto Takanashi. Sophia E. Faith better get herself off that table, though. Cassidy Vice looking to put Faith through the table. But Faith not looking to be plucking out splinters all night long from her behind. Fights back now. And Faith, how does she keep her ball cap on? That's impressive. Amelia Jones, I thought she was down for good, but she's getting back up. Where the hell's Faith going? Hey, you picked this fight. You better finish it. That's what Cassidy Vice is saying as he tracks her down. They're going more toward the production area. And not the time, Amelia, to be showing off your Taekwondo skills. Impressive as they may be. Now she's got a freaking traffic cone. Beat the hell out of Ileana with it. Where is Sophia taking Cassidy? Hello? Hello? Power bomb on top of that supply crate. That seemed a little overcomplicated. Oh, Cassidy Vice's back right now has got to be screaming out. Oh, look, shock high energy. Now, wait a minute. That's not Twisted Sister's official drink, nor is it W. Ignore that. I don't know who gave the okay to put that there. That should be a W machine. Cassidy Vice is able to get back up. I don't know what the hell is going on over here. We're going to get another camera. We're going to get security over here, but Cassidy trying to come to the aid of Ileana, who's outnumbered. Where is everyone, though? Cassidy's looking. Oh, we're going in the elevator. Where are they going? Up into the rafters. What is happening? Ileana Summers is still fighting. And now things evened up again as Ileana's trying to drag Sophia E. Faith into the elevator, it looks like. Oh, God. They're fighting on top of steel right now, mind you. Ah, Ileana! Dropped face first onto the steel railing. Now, Amelia picked up to her feet by Cassidy Vice, able to avoid that knee to the midsection. Oh, into the elevator we go. No, Cassidy Vice able to stop Amelia. And some elbows to the midsection. Now she drags her inside of the elevator, and back down we go to the first level. Ileana Summers and Sophia E. Faith back to their feet. And Amelia Jones hits Cassidy with a drop kick right to the side of the head. Amelia's going back up, it looks like. Not going to take the elevator. Ileana sliding down the steel ladder. That was pretty impressive, actually. Hold on, can we get a slow-mo replay of that? Amelia picks up the steel chair and whips it as hard as she possibly can right at Cassidy's face. Cassidy, those got her in the back of the head. Oh, there's Sophia coming out of the elevator. Going right for Cassidy Vice. Little Lorenzo Alexander flavor with the Sunset Strip. Oh, of course, going for the traffic cone once again is Amelia Jones. The regulars at last giving Resurgence a taste of their own medicine. Ambushing Summers and Vice as they were on their way to the ring for that Women's Tag Team Championship match. Oh, Sophia just got thrown up onto the loading dock. They are playing with fire here. Amelia. X-Plex on the concrete. Oh, Ileana. Barely able to win, potentially having her spine shatter on the concrete. I don't know what Sophia's planning on doing with that table. I don't think she knows what she's doing either. Now she grabs a steel chair. Gonna go to work with it. Meanwhile, Amelia taking Ileana Summers back toward the elevator, I think. Where is security? Oh, Amelia has ditched Ileana. Another Sunset Strip to Cassidy Vice. Oh, Sophia E. Faith. I've especially been waiting to see this type of fire from Sophia. Oh my God! Wow! Off the loading dock! Through the fucking table! You gotta be kidding me! Forget security! We need to get medical over here! And stat! Sophia may be dead!
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah, boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the moody. Say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. On the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. Yeah, used to wear the cheap stuff, now it's so designer. Blink. Got him wrapped around my little finger. He let the way I pop it like a can of fizz. Told him if he want this, better know the business. I'm not his wifey, I'm his fantasy. Living life in first class, can't you see? Look at me, said my attitude is kinda spicy. I told him that's the price, boy, ain't it pricey? It is. Stepping out the truck with the pink lip gloss. So them girls how to play like a real big boss.
Well, unfortunately, my friends, I think it's pretty obvious that we are not going to be seeing that Women's Tag Team Championship match here tonight. And finally, security and, more importantly, paramedics arriving backstage to break up that brawl and check on Sophia E. Faith, guys. That back suplex off the loading dock through the table might just be one of the gnarlier things I've seen in at least in a good while here in CMV. Rebecca Starr and SJ Ray can breathe easily for at least one more night. They will not have to defend Women's Tag Team Championship here tonight. But our co-main event coming up next. And our main event still to come. Lorenzo Alexander one-on-one with Fidel De La Rosa, champ versus champ. Hunter Quinn makes his return to Octane. This is his first match of the new season, his first match in a good couple of months. Of course, we were meant to see him return a couple of weeks ago on Octane, where he was supposed to meet Big Texas man-to-man, but after Hunter Quinn thought it would be a good idea to steal Big Texas's guitar, Big Texas had him arrested, thrown in jail for the weekend. But now Hunter going to finally get his hands on Big Texas. We know Big Texas is here. Hunter Quinn obviously no longer behind bars, though if you ask me, that might be where he belongs. Don't tell him I said so. Hunter's looking good. I won't lie to you. He looks to be in great shape. No longer has the Hallow to worry about. His sister Madison doing her own thing over on Shockwave. This could be a new beginning for Hunter Quinn. I don't think he necessarily saw it getting started this way. And here we go at long last. Hunter Quinn, Big Texas. What? Well, wait a minute. That is not Big Texas. That's Little Texas. Little Texas, it seems, is going to be Hunter Quinn's opponent tonight. Another dirty trick by Big. Well, he did say Hunter Quinn will be facing a Texas tonight. And there's Big Texas. He is here. But it looks like he's not interested in getting into the ring with Hunter Quinn. Not tonight. Little Texas makes his CMV debut. Yeah, nothing really little about this guy. I didn't even know they made cowboy boots that damn big. And Hunter Quinn is instantly realizing what he's up against here. You saw him momentarily back down. Now, of course, if you're a fan of Big Texas's musical career, and come on, let's all be honest with ourselves here. Who isn't? We all own the albums. We all have the CDs. We all have them purchased on our Apple Music. That #1 single that we all know and love, called Everything's Bigger in Texas, of course. I listen to it at least twice a day. Well, you will be familiar with Little Texas. Head of security, I do believe. But as I mentioned before, look at the size of that belt buckle. Looks like that thing's about to pop off any damn minute. Hunter Quinn getting dragged off into the corner. Oh my God, like a blob. Squashing Hunter Quinn in the corner with the Psycho Killer. Trying to keep his footing and stay out of that corner. But every time he strikes Little Texas, it has pretty much no effect. And punching that belly, you'd be lucky if his fist doesn't get sucked in. I mean, literally like the blob. dissolve his flesh. There we go. Hunter gets him up. Treating Little Texas like a lawn dart. Face first off that middle turnbuckle, now tries for a pin. While Big Texas lurks about at ringside. So he is here. I don't know why he could not compete. What's the excuse going to be this time from Big Texas? He looks healthy. Maybe he's going to pull an Emmett Jones and say he broke his fingernail. Although I know for a fact Big Texas gets a manicure twice a week. Bam! What a combination by Hunter Quinn. He's now going to take to the top rope. Not too frequently you'll see Hunter fly like that. Drops a knee right across the chest of Little Texas. Follows up with a stomp to the face. They're going to step back to line up his shot. Drop kick upside the head. And now repeated stomps to the chest. Oh, Big Texas from ringside. Hey, what? I thought you couldn't compete tonight. Well enough, though, to get involved here and grab Hunter Quinn's ankle, I guess. Speaking of grabbing an ankle, Hunter Quinn does so before pulling Little Texas to his feet. And the biggest Tiger Bomb I've ever seen. Big Texas doesn't even want to look. But Little Texas is able to kick out. However, Hunter Quinn is a man possessed right now. Look at that sit-out choke slam. Little Texas, though, too damn big. This clobbers Hunter Quinn with that forearm. Still, though, Hunter is a big guy, deceptively tricky, as we saw with that kick to the side of the head. Even when he's on his back, proves to be dangerous, does Hunter Quinn. Oh, I want to see a choke slam. Well, here you go. Woo! Put that boy through the dang old canvas. But a Hunter, props to him, be able to kick out of that. Probably could have given me to the count of 100,000. I got him in the corner. Hunter avoiding that, though. As if it's the black plague. Last thing you want to find yourself is cornered to the man the size of Little Texas coming at you. Snake eyes for Hunter Quinn. Grabs him by the ankles. Trying to hang on as Hunter, but that's not going to do you any good, brother. Into the pin. To kick out at one. Our co-main event here on Octane at 164. Big Texas doesn't seem at all impressed with Little Texas so far. He was thinking this was going to be over a lot faster. But Hunter Quinn with a howl, trying to intimidate Little Texas. Maybe send Big Texas running for the hills. That might not be a bad idea right about now. Little Texas goes for a stop. Hunter looks to be bleeding from his nose. Oh no, Little Texas got him with the claw. Hunter rising to his feet, Little Texas. Trying to scoop him up. Hunter, like I said, people underestimate just how crafty he is. Get him up out of the corner with a flapjack. Hunter Quinn trip up. Big Texas hooting and hollering from ringside in an attempt to give Little Texas some time to get back to his feet to recuperate. But I don't know, you could give Little Texas probably the rest of the night. I don't know if it would do him any good. Hunter Quinn with a psycho driller. The entire arena shakes. 1, 2, 3, Hunter Quinn. Throwing a curveball here tonight, but able to overcome and pick up a victory in his season debut. Oh, Big Texas not looking too thrilled that his plan got taken out behind the woodshed here tonight by Hunter Quinn. I don't think Big Texas can avoid this match with the Psycho Killer forever. No matter what roadblock you might try and put up, Hunter Quinn seems ready to blow through each and every single one of them.
Yeah, you know the vibe. Bubble pop, let's go. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah, make him spend his whole quota. Cha-ching, yeah, I got that sweet flavor. He call me lifesaver, do myself a favor. He think I'm sweet like the candy shop, but I can make the whole party stop. Got these new heels, click clack on the floor. He texting me, always asking for more. I'm in LA, sipping on the best, put his credit card to the test. He said I move like a superstar. I'm like, yeah boy, you know who we are. We them girls. Ice in my cup, see the diamonds on freeze. I don't ask for much, but I get what I please. 2,000 for the bag, just to match the moody. Say I'm pretty, but I got an attitude. At the top, watch the bubbles rise up. Fill it up, never draining my cup. If you wanna ride, better change your lane, cause we driving fast and we making it rain. Cherry soda, cherry soda. Yeah.
And my friends, it is now main event time here on Octane number 164. Great night it's been so far. Now we have still got what promises to be a humdinger and a half here in our main event. Champ versus champ. Lorenzo Alexander and Fidel De La Rosa one-on-one. No strangers to each other. Last season they fought more than once over the Intercontinental Championship, with more often than not De La Rosa getting the better of Alexander. But I'd say even compared to just those few months ago, both men have very different places in their careers. I mean, obviously Fidel De La Rosa still riding the high of defeating Schmitty in Las Vegas at Final Stand to become the CMV champion. While Lorenzo Alexander, of course, captured the PWJ International Championship, qualified for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match. And in fact, if, well, things go the way of the Hollywood Highlight next weekend in Paris, he can potentially be in possession of that contract that he can then cash in any time for a shot at Fidel De La Rosa's CMV championship. Just as many supporters Fidel De La Rosa has, there seems to be just as many haters out there in the CM universe. I'd say none more than Schmitty himself, who says Fidel De La Rosa only got lucky at Final Stand, and that will soon become clear when he loses that CMV championship. But for someone like Lorenzo Alexander, guys, who's had a nearly perfect new season so far, he did recently suffer a loss at the hands of the debuting El Duende de Fuego. But I don't even think that loss could dampen the spirits of Lorenzo Alexander right now. Defeating Jay Pierce to become international champion, defeating Morgan to qualify for the Climb to Fame contract ladder match, which, by the way, only has one spot left to be filled. Quran Cook, Brian Dynamic, Peligro, the Anarchy champion, Tommy Demise, Diamante, Alan Montoya, and Lorenzo Alexander, our current lineup. That final spot will be filled next episode of Octane. All right, here tonight, guys, we are guaranteed a doozy. Champ versus champ. Lorenzo Alexander, Fidel De La Rosa. It's been a, not fun few weeks for Fidel De La Rosa, as Remy Martin and he have been at each other's throats. Oh, great handshake here between these two. A lot of sportsmanship throughout the night. It's so unlike CMV. I love to see it, though. Did Piper Goodis and Thea do the same before their match? And we get a clean break, though. So these two have fought many times before. They do have a great respect for each other. Every time they've fought, it's been a great matchup. That's why I'm sure this would be no different. But as I was saying, guys, Remy Martin has been borderline stalking De La Rosa since Final Stand. He tried to, of course, cost De La Rosa that match against Schmitty. But De La Rosa was able to overcome and leave Las Vegas with the biggest winnings of all, that CMV championship. But Remy and Fidel De La Rosa have been brawling non-stop every single week after being forced apart by a swarm of security. Remy Martin's not here tonight. I gave him the night off. I told him to stay home, take a breath. Fidel De La Rosa, meanwhile, looking to send a message to each and every single man and woman, superstar point blank period here in Octane. And he is the champ. He will take on any and all comers. I mean, he's not back down for Remy Martin. Every time Remy Martin's popped up to throw hands, De La Rosa has not tugged tail. He's stood 10 toes down and told Remy, bring it on. Close line there, but I mean, we saw Remy use Tobias Jones to send a message of his own to the champion last Octane, concussing Tobias Jones. Saw him out here earlier tonight in the corner of Aaron Stone. Still not clear to compete, but hopefully soon. Gorgeous wheelbarrow DDT by Alexander, who now waits patiently for De La Rosa to get to his feet. A combo that the CMV champion can't keep up with. And so fast. And once upon a time, I might have thought Fidel De La Rosa was the fastest man in CMV. But then along came Lorenzo Alexander, sit out facebuster, and the international champion, not one to beat around the bush, Hollywood highlights, pops into the pin, and a kick out at 2 by De La Rosa. These last few weeks have been so great for Lorenzo Alexander. Imagine adding pinning the CMV champion to all those accomplishments. And so Lorenzo Alexander's momentum damn near impenetrable heading into Climb to Fame next weekend. And right now he looks to give the champion a little bit of the snake eyes, but there we go. Fidel sneaks in a boot to the gut. Closes that distance so fast. Fidel De La Rosa. Been in CMV now well over 4 years. Former Tag Team Cup winner, World Tag Team Champion, Anarchy Champion, 2-time Intercontinental Champion, and in his first ever World Championship opportunity at Final Stand, hardly anyone, I wouldn't say nobody, hardly anyone gave him a chance to defeat Schmitty and become the new CMV champion. But he did. In Las Vegas, he cashed in, baby. Whew. Oh boy, did he. But Schmitty is right in one regard. That was the easy part. Now is the hard work, proving he deserves to be the CMV champion. Keeping that championship. A lot harder than winning it. And you've got absolutely everyone gunning for you. Lorenzo coming out of the corner, even those who might respect you, like a Lorenzo Alexander. Trying to paint himself a little bit of a picture. Grabs De La Rosa with the back of the head. The last thing you want to do as a champion is show any sort of weakness. And even more so when you got someone like Remy Martin gunning for you, wanting that championship match. Remember, they were supposed to face off a few weeks back, but the match never ended up happening. A brawl broke out. Remy said, I don't want to face De La Rosa unless it's for the CMV championship. Oh, that's vintage De La Rosa right there. Making a house call before going up to the top rope. And things ain't gonna be getting any better for the Hollywood highlight. double axe handle. Got him with the Cam Harris special. And a knee drop to the extended arm. Things have turned around, maybe not for much longer. Alexander takes back control with a wicked back kick. Woo. See the way De La Rosa's neck snaps right there. Now to the top. The Hollywood highlight with a corkscrew shooting star press. I don't think I've ever seen one landed quite like that before. Landed on Fidel De La Rosa vertically rather than horizontally. And then throws him into the ref. But that stuns De La Rosa. Was that done on purpose? Stun said strip a second time. 1, 2, 3. Lorenzo just pinned the CMV champ away. Remy Martin doesn't give Lorenzo any time to celebrate and doesn't give the champ a second to catch his breath. Where did that cage come from? But De La Rosa's fighting back. De La Rosa's fighting back. Realizing now that they're trapped inside of the cage though. Low blow! Remy dug the hole, covered it with leaves, and De La Rosa falls right into his trap. Again, Remy Martin gets the better of the CMV champion.